You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position
this
to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're
doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
It's not only Trump that is icy with Zelensky. The Slovakian leader is also fed up with the constant money grabs by Ukraine.
Nie som na to, aby som šiel po ruke prezidentovi Zelenskému. A priznám sa, že už niekedy mám plné zuby. Chodí po tej Európe, len žobre a vydiera, ostatných pýta peniaze. Jednoducho toto musí skončiť.
Trump had a lunch. He gave a lunch to the press.
Kicked him out.
He gave lunch to the president. He told him get the hell out of the country.
Told him to get out.
of my country.
Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel.
We're back. We're back. And we took some time off because we don't ever take days off.
Ever.
And it's the only time, so we took a Sabbath.
Right.
I do. I had to take a Sabbath.
I take a Sabbath. Sorry, guys, it's what it is.
Take a Sabbath.
The news comes. You know what's funny though is that
The news comes second,
and it comes so fast. Mm-hmm. Like the news just keeps happening, and you know, y'all know we don't record every day. We record like once a week, and we split the videos up. But I'm like, is there ever a time where it's just like peace?
Nope.
All right.
Speaking of peace, Zelensky doesn't want to do it.
That's a good segue. Y'all, I know that we've all seen the video of Zelensky, Trump, and Vance.
Wasn't it great? I thought it was great. That was so much fun to watch.
just
I
the
hope
best thing
that
ever.
happens again.
First of all, the unspoken person that no one's even talking about is Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio looked at that guy like...
Everyone's looking at Trump and Vance, and trust me, we were too. The best thing ever, right? But we would look over to the side and see Marco Rubio. I'll put a little picture of him up here, how he was looking at Zelensky as all this was going down, and it was hilarious.
I'm slowly starting to like Marco Rubio.
A lot.
I really didn't like him before.
I can't believe it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now I'm slowly just starting to... I mean, he's done so many interviews. I'm like,
I know,
yes.
I know.
The Trump must have really influenced you because Marco Rubio is like he wasn't... Like he never was before.
Right. So I know you guys have seen this video a million times, I'm sure, because Trump again broke the internet. But this interaction between... Look, I think that Trump wants the American people to see some of what goes on behind closed doors in some of these deals. Obviously, he's not going to show us everything because it's just a national security thing. You can't do that. But I'm happy that he showed this because they have all been saying that dealing with Zelensky has been a nightmare. Yeah. It's been very difficult. This guy is not only stubborn, but he's just delusional. It's as if he doesn't realize that this war was over when it started. Russia's a powerhouse at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like he was never going to win this. But yeah, so I'm happy that he showed us.
But you do have to watch online media to get the truth because the mainstream mediocres are acting as though this is travesty. And I'm just thinking to myself, this is business. Doesn't matter if you are running a company or you're a politician. Mm-hmm. This is what it looks like. This is what business looks like when we're not just watching it on camera. And honestly... Look, I never liked Zelensky. I always thought he was a bit of a weasel. You know, this whole thing, standing at our Oscars, doing a little, you know, walking around with those clothes on, act like he's living in some bunker somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, he's an actor in real life. Yeah. And he's acting. He's acting. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I never liked him, and I'm over it. But this was epic to me. I mean, Trump is really, his whole administration already is just...
Right. And don't worry, you guys. We're gonna get to the Pam Bondi thing in tomorrow's video, so we'll get into that in a minute. But so anyway, so we're gonna watch this video, this clip, because to me it'll never get old. Zelensky was defeated. He's like a little man in that chair.
Yeah.
What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" It doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand that, but...
And which, by the way, the mainstream mediocres, they make it seem like... They keep saying that Trump's a Putin puppet because he's... want to make this deal.
Yeah.
But in real life, that is what you have to do. You can't just...
You have to do
You just can't always fight people all the time. You do have, for the sake of peace,
You have to bring
people to the table.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You don't just because he's making a deal he wants to make a deal between the two men doesn't mean that he's on Putin's side.
Yeah.
It's just that this man can't win.
Yeah.
Well,
he's on the side of American world peace.
I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, parts of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2015.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly
but,
right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. The people are been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversations, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed with him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the President for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine? That you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
J.D. Vance. J.D. freaking Vance. These two men, y'all, are they not standing up for America? Do you see this? We're seeing this in real time, right? I've never been so proud before.
Yeah.
And I have never been so proud before of any leadership in our country and from this moment right here. Because JD just called him out just point blank.
Right, like you're not going to be a part of NATO. That's just not going to happen. And secondly, the idea that you don't have any options, and you come to the country and then the home of this world leader and his vice president, and then down to them in front of our press.
You're antagonizing them is what you're
in front
doing.
of our press, trying to talk about something that Obama and Biden couldn't get done.
Well, this is new.
Right. You know what I mean? You don't you don't have any power here. And Zelensky has just made himself a dictator in his own country, because if they don't, because he knows that if they don't give money, he's gonna have to step down.
Right.
Because in their country, as long as this is happening, a war is happening, he gets to remain president. So he gets to stop all of the what do you call it? Election processes, so they can't get rid of him.
Yeah.
And unless
he's trying, he wants to keep his war going.
He wants to be a dictator.
Yeah, and he just wants to keep. He wants his war to keep going and going and going and be nonstop. You're not going to win this.
And the mainstream media is all backing him. I mean, what a treasonous sort of mainstream media that we have, while they're defending another country and not their own country. Yeah. You know what I mean? They love, like, again, the left and the left-wing media loves to defend everyone's borders but our own.
You know, what JD is actually talking about there is that there's allegedly, and I've seen a couple of videos because they were sent to us actually, of some people, there's a military in the Ukraine that are pulling men off the streets and putting them into cars, and you have to be a soldier now. And the reason why they are allegedly doing this, all right, this is what JD's referring to, is because they're having a manpower problem. They're losing men, they're dropping like flies. And, you know, like the soldiers themselves, I do not blame. They are doing their job, and they're doing a damn good job for what they're being faced with. I mean, they have to know they're not going to win this. And he needs to kind of fold at this point.
And he's trying to sit there and tell JD Vance, like, well, we did what you're saying. We did that before. And he attacked us anyway. And I'm like, okay, but sir, you don't have any power right now, or money, or manpower. And so what you're asking us to do is to fight like some kind of war for you.
Keep funding money.
Trump is America first. He's not going to just send his people over there for a losing battle. And again, he can fight if he wants without us. That's what it sounds like. He's trying to pretend like he's going to say, but he's not. That's not going to end well because you don't have any money.
Right.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You
God bless. You will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
Feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country, that's backed you far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This
a
entire meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire
today.
meeting, have you said thank you?
Today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about
If you didn't have our military equipment, if you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of times to American people.
Except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're
I
saying
said-
you don't want a
but I
ceasefire?
But well, why would you not want? See, the thing is that there's a lot. See, you can see he's up to something.
See what prideful do?
Because why would you not want a ceasefire? Your men are falling like flies. The civilians are being killed or maimed, or just if you're having a very difficult time in your country. I mean, I don't understand why you wouldn't want a ceasefire. The only other reason why you wouldn't want one is because you want this war to keep going because it's been very profitable to you. Like Trump, President Trump is saying, this stupid president before, Biden, has given you $350 billion, $100 billion of which you can't account for.
All right.
We don't know where that's at.
A successful comedian, President Zelensky, talked the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into a war that basically couldn't be won, that never had to start and never would have started if I was president, not even a chance. And it didn't start for 4 years, never would have started. But a war that he, without the U.S. and Trump, will never be able to settle. They'll never settle that war without our involvement. That's why they did such a great job this weekend. That's why Saudi Arabia did such a great job this weekend in hosting. The United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe, and Europe's money is guaranteed. They get their money back. It's a form of a loan. Nobody knows that. I know that. I said, why isn't somebody saying, we do it the same way? And we spent much more money. We have to equalize. But while the United States gets nothing back, so they get their money back. It's a loan. We just give our money. And we had a deal based on rare earth and things, but they broke that deal. But they broke it 2 days ago. We had a deal because I said, we're spending $350 billion, and Europe gets their money back in the form of a loan, and we don't. We're just giving the money hand over fist. That's the Biden administration for you. But they're no longer dealing with the same United States as they were dealing with a few months ago. Why didn't crooked Joe Biden demand equalization, and that this war is far more important to Europe than it is to us, and that there's a very big, beautiful ocean, a separation? This is, we're helping Europe. We're trying to help Europe. On top of this, Zelensky admits that half of the money that we sent them is missing. They don't know where the money is. He said, well, we don't know where half of it is.
And it's like you are just, what do you keep just having your hand out? What are we doing here? You're not going to win this war. It's not going to happen. I'm trying to see, and what, maybe y'all know, and what kind of situation could happen for him to actually win this? Tell me, because I don't see it.
This man is in his whole pride. He's prideful. You know what I mean? And he doesn't want to give up his position, and he doesn't want to give up on fighting Putin, and he just wants everybody else to pay for it.
Yeah. Trump said the cards you don't have any. You don't have the cards. You're not even at the table is not even there. What table? There's not. You don't have anything.
I want a ceasefire
with guarantees,
because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me. That wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Vice President.
going to be a tough deal to make because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that.
And people are like, oh, you know, like he was so rude to him, he was so rude to him. First of all, this clip is like an 11-minute clip, is what's going viral because it's more entertaining. But I saw the 49-minute clip of a video of this meeting, right? And that's just stuff that's not even behind the scenes. It's just we see it, and they don't. What people are not saying is that he was very kind of rude from really the beginning, kind of arrogant from the beginning. Not just this clip. What led up, I think Marco Rubio talked about this too on CNN. He was like, you guys just seen that last part of the clip. You didn't see, people are not talking about the rest of it, where they're not. I'm like, he was kind of rude and antagonistic the entire time.
Not too long ago, he was complaining about not being able to have a seat at the table with the other leaders. And this is why they don't want him there.
This is why.
Because he's a big baby. He's too emotional. And he's needy. Yeah. You know, nobody wants a needy person around them all the time anyway. Especially, you want stuff. You want, you know what I mean? Look, you don't, it's like with welfare. You don't start getting cocky when you're trying to get money from the taxpayer. You know what I mean? You take what you can get at this point. Right. You don't hold any cards there. You know what I mean? Like when people are like freeloaders, that's to me what it is. That's the only reason he comes here. He comes here to freeload. You know what I mean? So when people are freeloaders, they become arrogant. This is why I don't like victim culture and all that. It's because when people get comfortable with being a freeloader and a victim, what they end up doing is start to become real arrogant, and they assume and they get cocky and they think deserve everything. You know what I mean? This man is no different to me than Kamala Harris. He don't need to be the president of that country, and he's only the president because they're still in a war. And he wants it to continue so he can stay there without getting a pause, because they're not going to, they're in their country, they don't have elections when there's a war. They allow it to just keep going. So as long as there's money flowing and he can fight Putin, he can stay as their leader.
Now, so Trump brings up a really good point too when he brought up that, because people are like, why is he bringing up that Russia hack thing or whatever? His point in talking about that is that Putin was, like they were trying to implicate him in that, as if he was doing something, malicious and, sinister, under the radar with Americans, and he wasn't doing that. It ended up being a big hoax, that Russia stuff.
Now we know that. Now they're all saying it.
They were calling us conspiracy theorists first, right? But now we know that it's true. It's just a big fat hoax.
And that's part of the reason why they're not on his side.
Yeah.
Because when he said that about Russia, all the liberal media
are the ones that pushed it.
Because they were the ones saying Russia, Rachel Maddow and The View.
CNN.
They were all Russia. Oh, the Hunter Biden laptop. All that. And so now they're all on Zelensky's side because they were the ones pushing all of that.
And it's been, and so Trump bringing that up is to me, I think, is very relevant, because during that, Putin could have started some type of war with us.
Yeah,
we were accusing him and his country of interference, and he was not, with our election interference, and he wasn't doing that. And he could have started something with us, but he didn't.
I think they kicked him out of the country, though. That was
that.
Trump had a lunch. He gave a lunch to the press.
Kicked him out.
He gave lunch to the president. He told him get the hell out of the country.
Get
the hell out of my country. He just love Trump. I'm sorry. I know that he doesn't do everything right, but
I know that y'all want. I know that a lot of people, particularly lefties, I don't want this, but I know a lot of people want him to be a more, what's the word, refined, and kind of that whole thing. But I just think that wouldn't be natural for him. He just has to be who he is, and that's why I voted for a non-politician.
I don't like polished politicians.
I don't either.
Because I think that you're scamming. Well, you know how they say you're not supposed to point Trump points.
Yeah.
Like you did before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they do. Zelensky actually did it.
Yeah.
This thing.
Yeah.
Because they say this is not intimidating, but this is. And I don't like people. I like when people, men who are in charge, they come in and then they just, this business. It's not personal. It's like, it's business. That's to me,
America
get
first.
Stuff done.
I feel like it's America first. I am America first person. Look, whatever Russia's doing is what they're doing. I'm not a Russian, Putin apologist or anything like that. But I will say that there are times where he could have started something with us, but he didn't. And I feel like this is just making it worse. This guy here is acting like he's somehow more powerful than that country, and it's just not a thing.
And Ukraine is like.
I mean,
he was there to sign a minerals deal.
Yes, that was the whole point.
And that's why Marco Rubio's
didn't
mad.
sign it. Yeah,
Marco Rubio said that.
Marco Rubio's been trying to get this mineral deal, and he set this whole thing up
just for this clown to come here.
He worked so hard on this deal, and this clown comes in here and is begging for more money.
Trying to beat his chest.
Dude, what are we doing here?
Like you are 100% outnumbered here. You have no money. You have no power. Yeah. You're never going to beat Russia. I mean, you can say all you want, it's a feel-good thing and say, oh, let's fight. The little guy's going to fight the big guy. But let's just I'm a realist in some things. Like there are some things I think you got to think beyond, where you are. But I'm a realist. These people are going to die. You know what I mean? His people are going to die. Like you are not in any position to be trying to fight a nuclear power.
I think it was 75% of Americans want this, what's his name, Zelensky, to back down and stop the war. He wants them to see our country, our citizens, because we're paying for this, our citizens are wanting 75%.
Now, what, 3 years ago? Yeah, 3 years ago, the polls we were all in. Yeah. We all won. Everybody felt sorry for the Ukraine.
Because the propaganda
in America, because the propaganda was real.
Yeah,
everybody's walking around with Ukraine colors and trying to make their Facebook picture, the Ukraine's Facebook picture. And then they realized, what I always realized about Zelensky, because the instant I saw him on our award show, our
Grammys. We said it before.
Yeah, the Grammys and with the Oscars on some via satellite with his looking like he's in some kind of bunker, not trying to wear a suit, which that media guy said, why aren't you wearing a suit?
Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not respecting.
I don't have such. I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something
like yours. Yes. Maybe something better. I don't know.
This is a good question.
People thought that was a dumb question.
It's not. No, it's really not. What are you trying to pull with this?
He asked the question that everyone's been wanting to know.
It's like John Fetterman over here, just walking around here in street clothes when you're going to work. Yeah, it doesn't make any kind of sense to me. And it's just like, dude, give it up. Nobody believes that you're living in some kind of bunker out there trying to, get your hands dirty with the common man. No one believes that.
So when Trump is like, he's you're tampering around with World War III. He is. with a World War III. He is tampering around with that. He's playing a dangerous game here. And I feel like the leverage is not looking good on his side for him to be doing this. You know, and so I don't know. I don't think that's right. But you know, I saw a clip of this man. I don't know, it was from Slovenia. I forgot what country it's from. I think it's Slovenia. But he was talking about Zelensky as well. It's not just Trump and some other world leaders that are leaders that are getting annoyed with Zelensky.
It's not only Trump that is icy with Zelensky. The Slovakian leader is also fed up with the constant money grabs by Ukraine.
Nie som na to, aby som šiel po ruke prezidentovi Zelenskému. A priznám sa, že už niekedy mám plné zuby. Chodí po tej Európe, len žobre a vydiera, ostatných pýta peniaze. Jednoducho toto musí skončiť. Skúste trošku myslieť aj na túto krajinu. Nie iba na svoje úzkoprosé politické cieľ. Čo budeme robiť pre Boha, keď ten plyn nebude? Vy si myslíte, že Nemci nám pošlú plyn, keď oni budú mať málo? Nepošlú nám nič. Nič nám nepošlú.
It's not even it's a whole other leader. He's like, I'm fed up with this guy too. This guy has his hand out constantly, and we're over it.
Yeah,
we're not giving. I mean, like I do not want. I mean, I'm happy Trump. I think he's not giving any money. Obviously, he's not.
I mean, who was it? Mike Huckabee? Was that who decided?
Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham.
It was
sorry.
Lindsey Graham.
Yeah. Lindsey Graham.
Yeah.
Even him.
He's like,
who's a big war hawk anyway.
He is a big war hawk.
He was like, I'm proud. I mean, I can't believe it, but he said that. You know, he said he was proud of Trump and J.D. Vance, and specifically, you know. And the truth is I think that Zelensky made a big mistake.
Yeah.
Doing this.
Huge.
He made a big mistake because you know the American people, because you know he didn't really. You know, say thank you. Like what J.D. Vance was saying. I mean, he said it before, but I'm talking about right now. You're still asking for money. You know what I mean? And so you're basically and I realized when he was doing the the back and forth, he actually said, I thank the American people. He's realizing I'm in America. I'm asking American for money, and I'm basically telling Americans what to do.
Right.
And I'm just not realizing it's taxpayer money.
And remember, there's money unaccounted for that he doesn't know where it went. So what is that? Look, no, we're not doing this. We're not playing this game. And I'm seeing people online saying, I'm so sorry as an American President Zelensky. I'm so embarrassed by our president, lefties, But the truth is that if you see comments like that, just know that is like 20% of the country. Almost 80% of our country wants this to end, and they agree with Trump.
Yeah, Trump's approval rating's high.
It's very high. So do not let the mainstream media, the lamestream media, make you think that somehow what Trump did was wrong. The majority of tax-paying people do believe this needs to end. Trump has not, in his first presidency, he had no wars. Okay? And that's because he is a peacemaker, and he is a deal maker.
Peace of strength.
Yes, peace of strength.
That's what he told Zelensky.
So peace of strength. And so he's trying to keep that record going. He doesn't want to start any wars. He wants to end them. Because he wants to end the death and destruction of these countries. And as JD said to him, we're trying to help you save your country. That's what we're trying to do. You've got enough money. We're done with that part of it, okay? There's no more over here.
And yeah, I also think Trump's administration has woke up the country and the world.
Yes,
because we were living on Joe Biden, this death rattle, sitting here in front of a camera who could barely know his name, where he was. I mean, he actually called Zelensky Putin.
Yeah, remember that
one day.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. We're going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky.
I mean, for 4 years we've been watching this man who's definitely in dementia, in a demented state.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And his vice president who's pretending like she's black when she wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trying to run the country, and we know they weren't running the country because Biden was not running the country. He couldn't under the way he looked. You know what I mean? And so now here it's like complete day and night. Now we have a president who fights back.
And we love this.
And I like that. You know what I mean?
It's the best thing ever. It's what I voted for. This is
what I voted for.
So I'm happy with this. And thumbs up to Trump. Thumbs down to Zelensky. And I'm sorry you didn't get your lunch. You didn't get to have his brunch.
I mean, I was watching a video the other day, and they put up a side by side of J.D. Vance as vice president, and then of what's his name?
Pence.
Mike Pence. And when Trump was arguing with Schumer,
Yeah.
Chuck Schumer, and Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
Pence was just not saying anything. He was just sitting back, just watching the show. And here JD Vance is like not letting anyone, I mean, you know what I mean? Like standing behind, you know.
Yeah.
Being the vice president.
They clearly have each other's backs.
Right.
They have each other's backs. So I love that. Anyways, this is a great day for America. And, you know,
I liked it. It was for me.
But what say you guys? Let us know what you think. Leave some comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this.